I think a lot of people feel left out.
Yes.
In the economy, in the country, from different religions to different people, from different races. People feel left out and they have pain. And we've seen this across civilizations, across time, when people feel left out. And this goes back to, you can just look at the wealth gap. Anytime you see a widening wealth gap, you start to see more unrest. People feel left out. They feel left out of the economy. They feel left out of the system. They're not heard. So, it goes back to the economy then at that point, right? If somebody is...
It's money.
It's money. But we don't have money.
I'll quote Marx. He says, I'm not interested in money, but money is the reason we fight. And Marx also said revolution is the locomotive of history. We're on the verge of revolution right now.
Right now?
Right now.
What does that mean?
You better have a gun.
You mean like a
That's why they want to defund the police and all that.
So you're saying get a gun, buy some ammo, protect yourself.
Well, I'm much simpler man. It's a gold, silver, Bitcoin, and bullets.
Gold, silver, Bitcoin, and bullets. All right.
I've made so much money on bullets, you have no idea, because being kind of, let me tell another story, because when I went to school in New York, I had a Jewish friend. And in Hawaii, we don't pay attention to that stuff growing up, You're either white or non-white. That was it. I don't really care. I just want to know how come the white guys were rich and the Asian guys weren't. That's all I cared about, And they're all good people. It's just different.
Yeah, all people you have a good and your bad, right? Across color, across religion.
Yeah, and some of the biggest crooks I met are white guys. This company has been screwed by white guys and women more than any other company I know. It's horrible. But we're here to help you in your mission to educate financial well-being. No, they came to fucking steal. They're all accountants and attorneys.
I feel like you're attacking me on that one.
No. I'm just saying you can't tell by the surface. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So today, those guys did me a favor, because for every bad partner, I found good partners. And today I have a team of about 12 of us. They're my team. Business is a team sport, but in school, a team sport is called cheating. I cheat like a wild man. I have the best accountants, attorneys, doctors, lawyers. You got to have the specialists. But I go in as a team, and schools tell you to be smart on your own. That's why my poor dad was poor. He had to be a PhD who knew jack shit.
So how do you learn then? If you're a parent, your kids are in school, how do you teach them? How do you teach them to become successful?
Well, that's why my book coming out November 10th, 2021. November 10th is the Marine Corps birthday, okay? And the positioning statement in the Capitalist Manifesto is how to counter communism taught in our schools by teaching capitalism in our homes. So in 1996, my wife and I created the cash flow board game to teach the basics of accounting and finance at home, because they'll never teach you that in school, because it's capitalist. School teachers are communists. They don't know anything about money. They believe in centralized government. They believe in high taxes, tax the rich. They believe all of that stuff. They want to tax the kids that go to school and get them deeply in debt. Oh, Obama, you should go to school. Get loaded with student loan debt. Student loan debt is the worst possible debt possible, because it's non-forgivable. See, I can BK out of a bad loan, bankrupt. You can't do that with a student loan. There's a building right behind one of my projects. It's the biggest building on the block. It's dedicated to student loans.
Wow.
And people don't see that. They call me a crook because I make millions of dollars. I follow the law. I pay 0 taxes. But I understand debt and I understand taxes. I understand the central banks. That's why Ron Paul, said, and the Fed. The Fed is a Marxist organization. Just read history.
But we still need doctors and accountants and engineers. We still need these people.
I didn't say we didn't need them. I'm just saying they've been indoctrinated into Marxism. That's no different like when I was in Istanbul speaking to Muslims. I said, I don't even know what Muslim religion is. I just told you guys we're infidels. They're good people. Do you know what I mean? There's radicalized guys. I don't doubt that. Marines are pretty radical, if you know what I mean. We're taught to kill communists for Christ, because most Marines are very Christian. And I'm going out there, I'm blasting away and wiping them out and all this. What the hell am I doing, But when you're getting shot at, it's not a time to question your philosophical beliefs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Life or death at that point.
When your friends don't come home, you cry. I mean, I remember I was in Singapore and I saw one of my classmates from high school. He was a Marine Corps A6 pilot, A6 intruder. It had the nastiest mission. The A6 was called the Flying Coffin. Because they were just experimenting with driverless cars. This was a pilotless plane. So the A6 would come in, it would drop to a defilate. Defilate means it could fly between mountains and plains and all this, and then drop its bombs and come off. So his name was Robbie Peacock. So he was one of those rich kids I went to school with when I was in elementary school. And I said, "Hey, Robbie, how you doing? I'll see you back in Hawaii." He goes, "I'll see you there, man." And he went to Dartmouth. He was a brilliant kid. Next day he was dead. Never came back. They never found him.
That's horrible. Another
friend that was shot down, same A6, they never found him. And the other friend was an F4 pilot, and he spent the war at the Hanoi Hilton. The pain in my heart is strong because these are my friends.
Yeah, you saw them lose
the last time. And then meanwhile, I have to go into battle and I have to do things I really don't want to do. But remember this, socialists and communists have killed the most people in world history. So that's why I speak. You probably get deplatformed for this one. I get taken off all the time. You better censor this out. But I just tell people what I know. You want to be a communist? It's a free country. You want to censor people? It's a free country. You can do that. You want to take my guns away? Good. You want to be a Christian? Fine. You want to be an atheist? Fine. I'm a capitalist. You don't want to be a capitalist? Fine. Capitalists make a lot of money and pay no taxes, legally.
And the way that you always talk about to build wealth is you need to start buying assets. I
don't buy them. I create them.
Create assets.
See that guy over there? His name is called Albert Einstein. The saying says, imagination is more important than knowledge. I make up my own assets. I don't need to go to the frickin' stock market. I can create my own.
But if you're 25 years old and you want to become rich, you want to become wealthy, you want to become the next Robert Kiyosaki, you have to start somewhere.
Right, but that's education, but they don't teach you that in school.
Right, so what I'm saying is now in today's market, where you have a strong stock market, a strong real estate market.
It's not crash. We're on a depression right now. A recession is 2 quarters of declining growth.
Right.
But a depression is suboptimal growth. So you could have, let's say that your GDP should be 4%, but you're operating at 2%. That's a depression. People don't know history. Is that what happened on September 17th, 2019? There was a crash in the repo market. The average person has no idea what the repo market was. That what happened in 2021, so they pumped up. So the last time there was a crash in the repo market was 2008. So I'm sitting here in 2019, September 17th. It's like, my God, the repo market crashed. And then a few months later, COVID appears. I went, oh my God, here it is.
Can you tell us what the repo market is?
Repo market is, I call it the pawn shop. It's where people go in there and they what happened at the repo market is the Fed starts pumping money into the commercial banks like Bank of America and those guys, Wells Fargo. So they started pumping money into the banks because the banks were empty. That's what happened when Lehman Brothers went down. They didn't have enough cash in them. But it's not even goes into the economy. It stays within the banking system. So what happens in a reverse repo, so 2008 was a repo, 2019 was a repo, and then what happened in 2021 was a reverse repo. The money started coming out of banks and going back to the Fed. Now the average guy, what does that mean? It means that the commercial banks don't trust their assets. Their assets are questionable. It's the valuation. Valuation is an opinion. Mm-hmm. This house is worth $10 million, but that's an opinion. So they started wondering what was the true valuation of their so-called assets. So the money started coming out of commercial banks like Bank of America and Wells Fargo, flowed back into the Fed because they'd rather have it at the Fed than in the marketplace.
So you're saying banks don't trust their own assets that they're investing
Their
in,
opinions.
and they don't like the opinions anymore.
No.
I mean,
So I watch. I'm the most boring guy on earth. You don't. I don't want to reverse. My friends are billionaires. That's what we talk about. The average person has no idea what we're talking about. We have to watch the flows of cash. That's why my game is called cash flow.
yeah.
I'm watching which way is it flowing.
I mean, if you look in hindsight, 2001 seemed obvious. 2008 seemed obvious.
But people know.
Self-lending.
I'll bet you $1 million. You ask 100 people what the repo market is, you'd be lucky if 50 know what it means. That's not a mistake. It's not an indictment against them. It's an indictment against our school system.
If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide that goes over what passive income is, how to start generating passive income, and different passive income strategies. All you gotta do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.